9 podcasts.
Hey, Nicolina here. Oh, that little guy? That's my boy Noah. Yep, that's also him. He may be the light of my life right now, but that didn't stop the postnatal depression. Now I'm pregnant with my second, and to be honest, I need help. So I'm turning to therapy to deal with all the anxiety, the worries and the blues that come along with the most important role of my life, motherhood. Sit with me each week as I try to figure out how I can navigate these rough seas. The information presented in this podcast is for general information only and not suitable for independent professional advice. If this podcast has raised any issues for you and you need information or support, please contact your medical professional or Panda on 1300 726 306.
And I just, instead of enjoying that moment, like the first thing that flooded my mind, which was really annoying, was like, you haven't done this enough. That guilt in the worst of moments came in, and I just felt like, oh.
All right, raise your hand if you've ever experienced mum guilt. Oh, I can see all you mamas out there sticking your arms right up into the air for that question. Mum guilt is a funny thing. It's sly as well, isn't it? It creeps up on you when you least expect it, and just when you think you least deserve it as well. It seems no matter how attentive and loving and selfless I try to be as a mum, which I can admit I do fail at sometimes, mum guilt will always find a way to slide into my day and make me feel like the worst mother in the world. Yeah, not just like a slightly shitty mum, the worst of the worst. You don't play with him enough. Oh, you're going out without him again. He needs more cuddles and affection. You're way too harsh on him. Shh. Mum guilt is a bitch. And due to a recent change in my family's living arrangements, this guilt, that judgment I put on myself every single day for every single thing I do with Noah has turned up to a 10. I need Sharice's help to get it under control before it boils over and becomes a problem. Or has it already become a problem?
I got a fringe, Sharice.
I love your fringe.
Thank you so much. Do you know why I got this fringe?
Tell me.
Towards the end of pregnancy, nothing in my wardrobe fits.
Nope.
I'm dealing with pelvic girdle pain. Yep. And I just, like, even just the other day, it was getting so overwhelming. I got home, got into my PJs, and then had a bit of a pee incident because I had pelvic girdle pain, couldn't get up properly. It was just not in a good place. And I thought, I can't change much about the situation, but I'm just gonna go get a haircut.
Love it.
And I swear I walked out of there feeling so good because I felt like I did something for myself. I've had a fringe before and I thought, oh, this is fun. Like, I remember having a fringe a few years ago.
Yeah.
And so I was really proud of myself that day because I felt like I just made something happen.
You took charge.
Yeah,
well
I
done.
did. And it's just something little. Every morning that I style it, I feel like it's a minute to myself and I like feel like Nikki.
Love it.
So that's been really nice.
So important, isn't it, to press pause and reflect on, what do I need right now?
Yeah.
Something is not working for me. This wee escaping, this pelvic pain, that is not making me feel very good about myself or very desirable or whatever.
Oh, yes, not desirable at all at the moment.
But credit to you.
Yeah.
You could have become stuck in that space, right?
Yeah.
And easy to do, particularly when we're feeling heavy and things are sore. What you chose to do, you remembered, what have I done in the past? When have I felt really good about myself? I had a fringe.
Yeah.
Oh, I can action that.
Yeah.
And you made it happen.
Quick fix.
A quick fix.
Quick little tick of a box, which has been like really, really nice.
Well done. So important.
Yeah.
We underestimate how important it is to keep doing those little things for ourselves during pregnancy and into motherhood.
Yeah.
Because so often we become, and for good reason, quite preoccupied with our babies and our bodies, and we have to. But if we become too preoccupied in that space, we run the risk of losing, of falling out of touch with who we are.
And something that's like changed a little bit as well in the last few weeks,
Yes.
which has been a bit of a toll on my mindset.
Okay.
So my partner and I have moved in with my in-laws.
Okay.
Just to save a little bit of money, and it's been absolutely fantastic. And that is not the problem at all. I'm not at all complaining about my in-laws.
Yes.
But there's been this real, because I'm now around other people and raising Noah, I'm feeling like there's a bit of judgment around my decisions.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, my in-laws are in no way judgmental, really supportive, really great help with Noah, and I couldn't have asked for better in-laws, which is amazing.
Amazing. Yeah.
But I think internally, just like the smallest of things, Cherie. So for example, if I am at home, I'm working from home, for example, and my mother-in-law looks after Noah 2 days.
Got it.
So I feel guilty, whereas I'm at home working and he's upstairs, and if I hear him cry, or if I hear like he's not having the best morning or whatever it may be, it's like a constant reminder of a decision that I've made to work that day and not be with him.
Yep.
Another example is, because it's such great help having them around, that sometimes Noah, like they can play with him while I do something else, which is
Brilliant.
not something you get at home.
No.
But it's like when he's playing, for example, with his granddad, and you know they've been playing for half an hour or so, and I've caught myself on my phone for a bit too long, then I feel like, oh, guilty, like I really should like
Should
go back
Yeah.
to. So I feel like mum guilt has been really
It's been quite strong for
strong
you.
at the moment. In like anything I do, I feel guilty that I've made that decision or done that, or yeah.
Listen, there are so many invitations moment to moment for us to feel guilty about one thing or another, right? And again, I think that is linked into expectations that we have on ourselves, how we should be mothering, or what choices we should or shouldn't be making. And the example you use is a great example of working from home and having someone else look after Noah. You know, I think your writing that sits underneath that is an expectation that as his mother, I should be the one caring for him the whole time.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very kind of Western concept, very different to days gone past where we had a village.
Yeah.
Right? And that was very normal and expected for the village
Yeah.
to raise a child. But we've become so consumed with having to do it all ourselves that we don't give permission for that to be happening.
Yeah.
And I wonder how it would feel different for you if, yes, you acknowledged, well, this is the situation because I am choosing to work.
Yeah.
Absolutely. My why am I choosing to work? Because of these different reasons. However, at the same time, I value Noah being raised and being exposed to his in-laws or your parents or daycare or whatever. I wonder what that would do with the guilt for you.
Well, I think that's something I have to accept, because I feel like I'm in this really lucky phase where I can accept the help, because it's, you know, we're all together and it's been great. And it's at such a crucial time when there is going to be another newborn. So Noel will have like this great attentiveness from his grandparents, which is really lucky, right?
Absolutely.
But it's like part of me thinks, even if I'm offered the help, my mother-in-law will say, you know, I'll feed him dinner tonight, you're exhausted. Like just, I always feel like I have to say, no, like I can do it. I find I say like, I can do it. Even she will say to me, like, it's not about whether you can or can't do it.
Yes, of course you can do it.
But it's like, I even feel like giving that to someone else is like selfish. I feel like I, as his mum, should do it every single time.
So there's your should again.
Yeah.
Should is a bad
Should is
a very unhelpful
Yeah.
word, isn't it?
Bad word.
It really does us no favours. And again, I think it comes back to this is what good mothering looks like. Being attentive all the time, cooking all of his meals, blah, 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 whatever is on that list. I would encourage you to challenge that.
Yeah.
Does that actually make me a good mum if I cook every one of his meals?
Yeah.
Or actually, is it more beneficial to all of us if I accept that help and I say, oh, that would be wonderful. Thank you so much. And I can recharge and Noah's happy and we're all supported.
I will admit, I don't think I did that enough, for example, in postpartum with Noah. I just felt like as soon as he was born, I had to do everything. Because if I couldn't, if I accept help now, I can't accept help for like the rest of my life.
It's funny how everything always ties back to where it all started. That postnatal experience with Noah. Stay put. There's so much more to discuss after this.
I just felt like as soon as he was born, I had to do everything.
All
because
of
if
it.
I couldn't, if I accept help now, I can't accept help for like the rest of my life.
That's such a high expectation to have on yourself, isn't it?
Yeah.
And almost this sense of, well, I have to do it because this is just what motherhood is, or I just have to be in control of doing all of this.
Yeah.
And it did you no favours?
No.
Is what you're saying.
No, I'm glad I realised that
There's a
going
lesson
into number
learned.
2. Yeah, I
Right.
think that was an important lesson. And something that I felt, for example, really guilty about, which this
Yes.
time around I really want to focus on, is my husband was home for 4 weeks, which was really
Right.
lucky when Noah was born.
Great.
And when he went back, I remember there were a few days where I just was at my wit's end and I just wanted to call him to come home. It's just about having someone else there.
Absolutely.
And I felt so guilty, even like calling him. It's just that whole thing, like, how can I not
Be able to do
be
this.
able to do
I should-
this?
And I wonder, Nikki, though, if that's also linked into, before you had Noah, you were kind of kicking goals in your career. You were a very able individual. You're an
Yeah.
intelligent woman. So we kind of get used to just being able to do things and to manage and to stay on top and to be quite independent.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, we're feeling as though we're in this very foreign land where we like feel a little bit dependent.
Yeah.
And I kind of need help, but I'm so used to doing everything on my own and being able to do it. I don't know what it looks like
Yeah.
to say or reach out for help
Yeah.
or say, I actually need you to come home.
Yeah.
That would have been a really confronting space
Very, yeah,
for
very.
you to be in.
Because it's foreign feelings
So
for me.
foreign.
Sometimes I feel like I tried to pep myself out of,
Did you?
you know, like out of it, like, oh,
You'll be
Nikki,
right.
like you don't need somebody, like you'll be fine, get to the end of the day.
Yes.
Whereas, I mean, I'm all for positive thinking, but I think
absolutely.
sometimes, should I maybe be taking a different approach? Because I feel like I needed to more say, no, Nikki, you need to do what like you think you need in
Absolutely.
this moment.
100%. Positive thinking is fabulous and can be very helpful. And sometimes we need to actually lean into our vulnerabilities or just at least see them for what they are.
Yeah.
This is one of my vulnerabilities right now and I need help. And that's okay. With that, we might ask the question, what will serve me well right now?
Yeah.
It's actually not going to serve me well to zip up and to keep powering on. In some moments, that is very helpful. In other moments, like at the end of the day with a newborn at week 5, where we're totally overwhelmed and sleep deprived and have no idea what we're doing with ourselves, it maybe doesn't serve you so well to zip up and to push through. Maybe the answer to that question would have been, what will serve me well is having my husband at home.
Yeah.
And I think you knew that in your heart of hearts, right?
Yeah.
Again, you were in this very kind of new territory of trying to
Yeah.
figure it all out.
And it still happens. Like the other day, I noticed Noah, he's got a tooth coming out, so he woke up in the middle of the night, obviously in a bit of pain.
Ouch.
Gave him the Panadol or whatever and just cuddled him for a little bit. And as I was cuddling, he fell asleep on me. And because I like sleep trained him, I haven't actually had many of those moments because I've always just popped him down and, you know, he might complain a little bit, but eventually he falls asleep. And I just, instead of enjoying that moment, like the first thing that flooded my mind, which was really annoying, was like, you haven't done this enough. You haven't cuddled him to sleep enough.
Oh,
I just felt, and I went back to bed. I swear there was like half an hour of just me wide-eyed thinking like, you know, how many more cuddles would he have wanted? Charisse, I don't even know what different corners of my brain I went to. I should have just like really enjoyed that moment and popped him down and like gone back to
snuggled
bed.
in and then gone, this is lovely.
But that guilt in the worst of moments
Yeah.
came in and I just felt like,
It lurks. It lurks and it caught you, by the sounds of it, a little bit by surprise.
Yeah.
You didn't expect to feel that way just from giving Noah a little cuddle at night. It's tricky, right? Because that happened, and we can talk about it now and say, well, maybe you should have done this and blah, 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 blah. But in that moment, you were so activated in your feelings, so activated in your mind, that it would have been incredibly difficult to make sense. So what I would do with that little bit would be to say, okay, so that didn't feel great. When I reflect on that, what I think I would have rather have done is just enjoyed that cuddle. Okay, I'm going to remember this. So next time he's up and we have a cuddle and he falls asleep in my arms, I'm going to sink my whole body and being into that experience with him.
Yeah, the way you say it as well, it's funny because I feel like I'm in this battle with mum guilt, and sometimes it wins and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe it is a case of like, okay, you won that time.
Okay, done.
But yeah, next time, don't ruin my moment.
Right? Yes.
Don't come in here at this beautiful, precious moment where like he was looking so cute.
Aww.
And because it is true, like those thoughts in the middle of the night just like run around like a roller coaster.
They do, don't they? So maybe part of it is like seeing it for what it is, like labelling that mum guilt. Seriously?
Yeah.
Really? Are we going to pop up right now? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Give me a break. I choose not to engage, and you do it in a playful way. I'm not engaging with you right now.
Yeah.
That is super unhelpful. I actually just want to choose to put my attention here with Noah. We don't just do that once, right?
Yeah.
That battle's going to keep, because the mum guilt's strong.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a strong pull into that space. And again, some of that guilt sits there when it starts to tap into some of our vulnerabilities. Would I have done things differently? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I can't change it. Well, why did I do it? Again, here's our why. Why did I do what I did? Well, this is why.
Yeah.
Okay, then I firm up in that.
Go back to the values and like
100% all the time.
There's a long list of things that I do that I, as a mum, that I'm really proud of, and the way I do things and the way I think about things.
Okay.
I know that they're there. I think I just sometimes rely on like, oh no, I'm a great mum. Like that's how I remind myself.
It's a bit broad brushstroke though, isn't it, that statement?
Yeah, but I feel like maybe if I have set,
Yes.
you know, like I'm a great mum because.
Absolutely. Unpack it.
Yeah, unpack those.
Know what sits underneath that, and know what they are in really concrete terms. Because what makes a great mum, I don't know. It's going to be different for everyone, isn't it? But what makes you, Nikki, a great mum to Noah as Noah's little person, and to this baby as this baby's little person? Then I think there's less room for that guilt to sit there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we know why we're doing things.
Sharice, why do you think though that I feel like I don't think my husband suffers from any guilt in any sense, parenting wise? I mean, I don't want to say that as like a blanket statement. I think I just watch him and he's so much more, for example, confident in the way he does it. If he makes a decision, he's made the decision. Even if it's like, oh, like made that mistake, he's very like quick to move on from it and just learn from it.
Yeah.
Might be his personality, but I just feel like, I don't know if it's just us mums that do it like all the time.
Well, I don't know. I think personality definitely plays a role. Some people overthink and think a lot
dwell
about
on
different things. Yeah. Some people are more focused on what others' perceptions are. Others don't really care. They're kind of more internally driven. So maybe, yes, your husband is more in that space of, whatever, I don't really care what anyone thinks, and I just get on with it and move on and look forward. I wonder if that's what it's about for him.
Yeah.
I wonder also though, I mean, guys don't often talk, and we don't often ask dads about, hey, have you felt guilty in anything that you do as a dad? So it might be an interesting conversation to have with him.
Yeah, well, I've
you know
never
what I mean?
actually
Like,
asked
have you
him.
asked him?
Yeah, I don't. I think I'm
Yeah.
just making maybe an assumption here.
Making an
Because
assumption.
I always think like I'm the overthinker, and you know, even just that night when I was overthinking the whole cuddle thing, like he's sleeping peacefully, and I'm like, do you ever like wake up in the middle of the night like this? So I don't want him to. Like I'm not wishing that he does. Maybe it's more of a, even if it's not him, but like it's more of a reminder that it happens to many of us.
Absolutely.
It's not just me, hopefully.
No, it is
up at
not.
night.
It is not just you, Nikki.
Yeah.
I think mum guilt, there would not be a session pass when I'm working with a mum, whether during pregnancy or postpartum, that something around mum guilt comes up.
Yeah, right.
Right? It's everywhere. It's universal. So we have to do something with it.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we have to not assume that our dads or partners
Yeah.
don't have it just because they're not expressing it.
Yeah.
Because it might all be internal. And there are plenty of dads I've worked with who feel their good kind of share of guilt around different things.
Yeah.
We just don't, it's just not as spoken about.
It might be a bit of homework for this evening when we go to bed.
Yes.
Add to that training sessions for my daily battle with mum guilt. I've got quite a bit to get done this week. Thank you for the company. I hope you can join me for my final session next week. Come to Therapy with Me is hosted by me, Nicolina. You can find me on Instagram at HeyNicolinaK. Make sure you connect. My wonderful therapist is Dr. Charisse. It's a 9 Podcasts original production.